Welcome back to Carbon Racing Series Season 4. We're here at the Belgian Grand Prix, Round 8 out of 15. We're more than halfway through the season now. And we're at, obviously, the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Incredible circuit, even at the worst of times. It's the longest track on the calendar, 4.3 miles long, or almost exactly 7 kilometers, 19 turns, including the legendary Eau Rouge and Radion. This was last season Tim F140 versus Aaron in their Haas, fighting through the bus stop chicane onto the start-finish straight. Initially it looked like Tim was winning, but then Aaron gets the better of him and he got that position. And then the final lap of the race. This was essentially the battle for the lead. That was Colin going up the inside of Ivan Hafterkamp, almost taking the lead on the road, but it wasn't really going to matter as Colin had a time penalty, as did Lennart up ahead, and that gave Ivan the race victory. 3 compounds of tyres, red marked softs, yellow marked mediums, and white marked hards. Remember when there used to be a rainbow, the Pirelli rainbow? Currently in the Drivers' Championship, it's Ivan leading the way with 108 points to his teammate Kane. He didn't have the best time out, Ivan did, in Hungary last time. He only gained about 2 points after a horrible race, so he wasn't as far ahead as he would have liked to have been. Constructors also took a hit as a consequence. They only gained 2 points, but they're still a fair amount, a fair way ahead of Alfa Romeo. It won't be too much of an issue for them. And so, we move into qualifying, more than likely. In fact, yes, we do move into qualifying. Apologies if you heard a bit of a doubled up audio there. That was a bit weird. Mistimed it, maybe. Right. Yes, of course. Disconnect controller. I mean, you are wired, so... I mean, that's what wired controllers do, right? You disconnect all the time. Just got to readjust my microphone a bit. So, we only have 15 drivers taking part in qualifying, which is a bit unfortunate. We should have had at least one more, but... yes, we will have one more eventually. Tim VD will join. It's a few more people than we had last week. First man out on track was Jaden, reserve driver for today, driving in the AlphaTauri. Next out was, I think, at Marie in the Mercedes. Both of the regular Mercedes drivers are not here today. They've been deputized by Marie and Formula Cringe, who returns to the series after a while. Marie also returning for the first time in about 4 months. And I think Jaden had an issue, as he's somehow... Oh wait, no, that wasn't Jaden, it's SPG. So SPG having a bit of a race with Marie. Hang on. And someone else coming out, that was an Aston Martin, that's Luke GDI, also a reserve driver, I believe. We've got a fair few reserve drivers today. Let me just pull up the Twitch stream on my phone, just to make sure that it's... Oh, hello. We've been... Someone has clicked something. I don't know, because it won't show anything.
But whoever that was, I believe that was a subscription.
Or at least, well, not a subscription, a like or follow. Whatever you do on Twitch these days. But whoever that was, thank you very much.
Is the overlay going to work? Yes, it is.
Or is it? It might be a bit broken. I don't know.
Anyway, Jaden, first man on a flying lap here. He should, with any luck, set the benchmark. However, I've got to do something quick. I forgot. Oh, someone's gone off the track there. That's an Alpine. Oh, no, it wasn't an Alpine. It was Rob. Kane has left the session. Possibly connection issues. Oh, there is someone... Ah, yeah, definitely connection issues. Something's gone on with Kane there.
Ah, Han just subscribed. And yeah, oh, something has gone dreadfully wrong for Kane and he's been disqualified. Will we have to restart that? I don't know. I doubt he did that on purpose. Anyway, going through Blanchimont for Jaden. Kane's not going to be happy with that as he does manage to get back in. Into the bus stop chicane for the Alpine. What's it going to be? It's going to be a low 140s. 143.123. Marie should be next. Oh, but they've invalidated at Stavilo. That's it. So that's unfortunate. SBG, however, is on a flying lap as well. Currently able to challenge his teammate. Oh, lots of wheel spin on the exit of turn 19, though. But that would have been a pretty good lap, I think, had he not had that that moment there. 144.1 is the best he can do on this occasion. Luke GDI also heading down Blanchimont. Towards Blanchimont. That's what it is. In the Aston Martin. Wonder what this time's going to be. It might not be very good. Or maybe it will be. I mean, these cars are very fast. Maybe I'm thinking too much in road car sense, and Luke does go fastest by a little under a tenth of a second. So very close for the provisional, for P1 in this session. This is just Q1 at this moment. Dan Edwin coming into the pits, possibly picked up some damage at some point. Rob on his flying lap in the Williams. Also heading through Blanchimont. And what's the Williams gonna do? Heads into turns 18 and 19 of the chicane. Sort of the bus stop. Across the line, 143.397, essentially a 143.4. That's not bad, I guess. Then we've got Ivan, the sole remaining Red Bull, but he's invalidated. Anyone else to know flying lap? Marie is. Got a bit of a slipstream from the McLaren, I think. I think that's PH Trissy. We've got a lot of reserve drivers today. It's just weird. Heading through the bus stop, Marie, bit rusty, and that shows with that wheel spin, 145.9. I'm going to briefly make sure that performance mode, there we go. Oh. Ivan will ride on board with. It goes through. Been too long since I looked at the names of these corners. I can't remember what the name of turn 10 was. I know that 11 is known as No Name. I think. Oh no, he goes round.
That's not going well for Ivan. Bit too much curb through Poohorn. I remember that name. So it has to make way for the Alfa Romeo. That's Lennart on the medium tyres, trying to get those out of the way. I reckon that they want to get the mediums out of the way and make potentially got a wet race. Not certain though. Unfortunately, that's information that you just don't get access to as a spectator. PH Trissy has actually retired. I don't think that was a crash. I think they've retired. Oh, migrating host. Lennart's left the session. What on earth is going on? Are we gonna restart? Let me just take a look at the driver notifications. Restart incoming.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna be restarting. Let me just... Oh, everyone's restarting. Let me just talk to Lennart here. Oh, he literally... Wait, no, that's restarting? I think that's what's going on. Everyone's leaving. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, we can call that one off.
So all those laps are
Irrelevant.
everyone's getting re-invited. So yeah, got to wait a little while whilst everyone rejoins.
Yep. It's this game. The F1 games have been remarkably glitchy for a long time now. Oh, what? Wait. Hang on. Fiddling with the mount of my microphone here. Huh. The rubber thing is squished to the point that it's come free. Okay, which way does it go? Come on, go back on. I'm twisting the wrong way. Right. Apologies for that. That probably was quite noisy. I don't really have much to talk about. I'm not the most talkative fellow. Other than... I know something I can mention. Who's excited for the race? The actual race that's coming this weekend. God, it's been ages. Who's excited to see some proper Formula One action with the new cars? Hopefully, we get some proper overtaking, some amazing machinery. Let's hope. Who's your money on? For me, I'm tentatively saying Ferrari, but well, it wouldn't be a pre-season without Mercedes sandbagging. So, you know, whilst I want Ferrari to be good, there is that lingering fear that Mercedes will be on top again. I mean, if Mercedes are at the top, George Russell has to start showing up. Hamilton. Yeah, if Mercedes is back to sort of 2014 levels of domination, George has to deliver. I'd rather George be champion than Lewis. And so we move into qualifying again. We're still doing full quali. We didn't use up a whole lot of time. Quarter of an hour. So we're going back into full quali. It's funny because full quali ends up being longer than the race itself when you're doing a 50% race. Apparently my controller disconnected again, even though it's wired. And the only way you can disconnect it is if you literally pull it out. But I guess the wires are poorly or something. It's a bit irritating. So, move back into qualifying. Incredible. We've got everyone back. Just in time. Mostly. Tim VD is actually here now, so we may have lost someone. The first man out on track was Jaden again. And I think that's both of the AlphaTauris and then both of the Red Bulls get going. All four of the Honda powered cars are the first cars out on track. I hate it when the sort of TV camera puts you on the car. I want to look at the outside of the car, not on the inside. Anyway, Kane will get the opportunity to complete a lap now. No thanks to the game disconnecting him or whatever. And once again, Jaden should be setting the benchmark. And it gives Marie a bit more of a chance to practice, I guess. Warm up the tyres. That's rather rapid weaving. Trying to get the heat into the tyres. The yellow flag already. That's Jaden slowing down, or maybe he went off. Through Blanchimont. Down towards the chicane. And through 18. And taking the long way around 19 to probably get as much speed as he can down the straight. And he begins his flying lap now. Into La Source. Nicely does it. Down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion. It will be a very different looking corner for the 2022 Belgian Grand Prix. But I don't know how much it will change in the game. DRS wide open as he heads down the Camel Straight towards turn number 1 that I can't remember. We've got the Hanjas has, I think, possibly spun through Blanchimont. I'm not certain. He's going quite slowly into turn number 2, whose name I can't remember. I should know this by now. But whenever you try and remember something, that's when you forget. It's typical, isn't it? It happens to me a lot. I can sometimes think of a word like objective, and then I'll instantly forget that word, and I'll be like, oh, wait, what was the word I was going to use? And I have to figure out something that's similar, and that's not the word I wanted to use. And then it will be like 5 hours later, and I'm like, the word I was going to use was objective. Like, it's infuriating sometimes. Anyway, Jaden coming through Blanchimont, as he has completed a mostly clean lap. In fact, it has been entirely clean as far as I can tell. No invalidations. Heads across the line and scores a 143.1, which is pretty close to what he did before. SPG, however, does improve from his original Q1 time, but not by much. And both of the Red Bulls, well, unsurprisingly, go faster with a similar gap between them as with the AlphaTauris. Next across the line is going to be Luke GDI into the chicane now. And what's his time going to be? Oh, bit of wheel spin, bit of a slide, and it's enough to put him P3, splits the Honda-powered cars. Next, it will be Marie, but invalidated, so we're going to have to go again. So Hanges will be next with a lap time. And that, oh! That was unexpected. Must be Nikita Mazepin, given that you're driving a car that is, let's try and keep things out of. Formula Cringe goes P5 with a 143.3, splits the AlphaTauris. Tim VD didn't have a particularly great time. He's almost 2 seconds off of SPG. And Andrews did get across the line, but he's got to go around the long way to get a new front wing. Marie coming through. You know, I'm going to look at the... what is it? The names of the corners. I need to find out, because I'm embarrassing myself here. This one... oh, God. I should know this. It's pathetic. No, I don't want to look at the Spa site. I want to look at the Wikipedia page, because they have the corner names there. Someone's going across the line. I think it's just people going through on out laps. Marie still only driver on a flying lap. Into the bus stop. There we go. It was Campus that she was going through. I'm not certain. Marie still just under 2 seconds off of SPG. Cringe will probably be pulling into the pits. No, he's gone for another attempt here. Hanges has retired. Oh, what has happened to Hanges? Cringe actually manages to improve. He's just a few hundredths off of Ivan. So very, very close from Cringe. Next across the line is probably not going to be Dan Edwin. I mean, he will be, but he's on an out lap. Behind him, however, is Leonard on a flying lap. He's heading into Campus right now. Left and right. Right and left, even. I got things completely the wrong way round. Yari Fitz has also retired without getting a lap time in. Through Stavilo 1 and 2. It used to be Stavilo 1 and 2. Technically, Turn 16 is no name as well. Turn 15 is the one called Stavilo, but it once upon a time used to be Stavilo 1 and 2. 1920? It said 19 turns, I could swear.
Yeah, the Wikipedia page says that that the straight, the kink, is a turn as well between Paul Frere and Blanchimont. Apparently, there's 2 turns there. So, a bit weird. Of course. Q1. Technically, you don't actually have to set a time, because everyone's going to get through. Yeah, that's something I keep forgetting. But yeah, you just... Well, you don't need to set a time if there's only 15 drivers. You just gotta get... Yeah. I would recommend setting a lap time, though. And as long as you don't crash out. If you crash out, then you're, you don't get through to Q2. And that's how you get knocked out of Q1 when there's only 15 drivers. I didn't catch that. Leonard went P6. He's 4/10 off of Jaden. He's not had a particularly great lap there. Is he going again? No, he's not. Then again, he is on medium tyres. Let's take a look at the tyres. Leonard and Dan Edwin have been using the mediums. And Dan Edwin is... Well, he is technically on a flying lap, but he's invalidated. Luke GDI has actually split the Red Bulls. He'll be going into the pits momentarily. And don't pull a Kimi Räikkönen there. You don't want to lose your rear axle. Trissy is on a flying lap. I don't think it's going to be a particularly great lap time. No, I am mistaken. It's P6 pushes Leonard down 1 spot. Pardon me. My body is refusing to play nice today. Dan Edwin is on a proper flying lap now, going down the Camel Straight towards... Phone, why do you keep going dark? Stop it. Through, what is it called? Lacombe. I just can't believe... Oh, he goes wide and invalidates. That's the medium tyres, they're not as grippy. And Bruxelles is turn 10. Oof. Now that's a very strange line. Using the AstroTurf. I think that's something that requires the precision of a wheel. Because I've tried taking that line on a controller and it's not easy. Tim VD on a flying lap. He goes through Eau Rouge and Radion. Doesn't spin. Yeah, this game has had a funny relationship with Eau Rouge and handling. The first iteration of the handling physics he had was horrible. Then the second iteration was actually quite nice going up Eau Rouge and Radion. Then suddenly it got worse again. So I wish they would have left the handling alone after they changed it the second time. It was fine then. Once you got used to it anyway. Into Pouhon, or as I believe the Belgians call it, Doppel-Laccar. Oh, someone's gone off. Is that SBG? He has... Yeah, he did go off for something. Tim VD, meanwhile, has gone about 2.5 tenths quicker on this lap. Oh, almost a second quicker. So that was 2.5 tenths through Sector 1, I think. Potentially. And then a second faster, more or less, through Sector 2. Goes into the chicane now. Turns 18 and 19. And across the line, doesn't look like a great... doesn't look like he had great traction out of the chicane, and only a 1:44.394 for the Alpine. Faco on an out lap, as is Luke. Leonard retires. Who else will be going across the line? Marie and Hangis, right at the bottom. I think they must have crashed, because they should be up here. And the game is funny like that. If you crash, then suddenly you're
At the bottom. But, yeah. I guess that's how it works, isn't it? Because you technically can't take part in the next session. Even if your time was really good. But
like, even if your time was better than someone else. I mean, look, Marie's time, 1:45.1, is better than Dan Edwards' 1:45.5, and yet Marie is going to be starting behind because reasons. Rob is on a flying lap, heading towards on the tail end of the flying lap. That is. Phone keeps going dark because why else would I want to? Across the line, 1:44.0 is enough for P9.
Make it La Sauce, Radion, Eau Rouge Radion even. Camel Straight, Lacombe, Bruxelles, Pouhon, Campus, Stavelo, Paul Frere, Blanchimont. Ooh, not looking very happy through that. And Faco has invalidated. Still got 3 minutes to get a lap time on the board. Probably didn't even really need to, though. And not even going for another lap. At least at this point, he's going for a cooldown, I think. Luke, though, I think is going for another lap. Nope. He proves me wrong as soon as I say that. Rob, probably trying to go again, but he's way off the pace. 4 seconds off. And he's invalidated. Picking up a lot of rubber by going off the racing line. Plenty of time, though, for everyone to get another lap in. Everyone who's on track, anyway. It's a bit late for anyone who's still in the pits, and Rob decides, no, I'm going to go into the pits instead. The only person who needs to get a lap time on the board, I think, would be Faco. Car number 19. Right behind Luke's Aston Martin. Hopefully Aston Martin's better this year as well. I would like that. Green is my long-time favourite colour. Ooh, that didn't look so happy through that. Through Stavelo. And is he going to wait for a slipstream from the Aston Martin? I doubt it. But he's definitely going to have to go for a lap. Though technically he could just finish this one. No, he goes into the pits. Okay. Doesn't really matter. He should get through anyway. But Marie and Hangis probably won't if they have crashed. And 30 seconds left. Everyone should just retire now. Yep, people are starting to retire. In fact, when the session ends, we should just go straight into the next session. 8 seconds left. It's got to be one quick lap if you want to get out there now. And there we go. So, yep, Marie and Hangis did crash.
So they get knocked out.
Unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
So, congratulations. You had zero chance of being knocked out.
And you got knocked out anyway.
So we go into Q2 with only 13 drivers. 3 people will be knocked out at the least. Try not to crash.
Right. Just waiting for people to load in. Jaden, please don't be alt-tabbed. Actually, it won't really matter if you're alt-tabbed. Oh, Jaden's had a connection issue. That's fun.
So we've lost another driver potentially. Right, so Q2 with 13 drivers, potentially 12 though if Jaden doesn't manage to reconnect. First man out on track then is going to be a McLaren. It's Yari Fitz. And we know that Yari is pretty good. He practically dominated the French Grand Prix until he got a puncture, possibly from incorrect tyre settings. He had something like 70% wear, when everyone else was closer to 50, I think. I don't know. But yeah, had super high wear, so that could still be a problem for Yari. Just needs to sort out the settings to get better tyre wear. And looking very hard to control through Lecombe. Wonder if Yari is more used to other cars. Because even though we've got equal performance on, each car does have its own quirks. Each car feels different.
And I would know. I've driven all the cars at Bahrain, and it felt like to me that the AlphaTauri was just horrible to drive.
So Yari should be setting the benchmark. Rob's also out as he goes through Stavilo. Going very wide, doesn't get penalised, but wouldn't have mattered anyway, even if he was. Yari Fitz going slowly. We've got the Red Bulls in 2x2 formation. Probably one is going to give a slipstream to the other.
And Yari goes for the... well, puts his foot down, starts his flying lap. He's on the medium tyres,
So going for the alternative strategy by the looks of things.
so we're not going to get rain in this case, I don't think.
Going up the hill.
Illusion Radion. And down the Camel Straight. DRS wide open. Heading down towards turns 5, 6, 7 of Lecombe. Car just not looking very happy at all. He's fighting to control it.
Into Bruchel.
One of the trickier corners, for me at least. And the no-name.
Oh, and he invalidates. So that's not gone well. And and just throws the car into Puhon. Got to be frustrated with that. So that means the task of benchmarker falls onto Rob's shoulders. And I can guarantee it's not going to be as impressive a lap as it would have been from Jari Fitz, I don't think. But you never know. It did look like Jari was having a difficult time driving that car. Gone through Paul Frere, up towards Blanchimont now. And into turns 18 and 19, the final chicane hasn't invalidated, so he will set the benchmark. And it's 1:43.3. SBG is right behind, looking to beat that time. And I reckon he will. Gets not the best traction, and he actually goes about 0.5 slower. So that's not gone well for SBG. Luke GDI, however, more than likely will go faster than Rob, though I think Rob was on the soft tyres. And yeah, I think that proves that Luke GDI has gone slower. Let's look at the tyres. Yeah, Rob on the softs. Dan Edwin goes fastest now by only a few hundredths of a second. Also on the softs, though. Oh, and we just caught Formula Cringe. Okay, well, he was up to third at one point, but he's already been overtaken by Leonard. I don't know why I'm so sniffly. I've got... I don't know what's going on. It keeps happening to me. Kane now goes fastest. 1:42.3. Absolutely smashes Dan Edwin's time. However, he's also on the softs. Tim VD's not had a great lap. He's miles off the pace. 2:15. That would be a bad time even if you were in the wet. Pardon me. I don't know what's going on with my nose. I keep feeling something in the back of my nostrils. Jaden has managed to rejoin. He's on an outlap. He's going for the soft tyres. Jari Fitz going on the mediums again. Oh! That was someone going around. That was Tim VD spinning. Very strange place to spin too, at a no-name. Must have got way too much on the curb or something. I've never seen a car go around that. So that's going to be miles off the pace. Faco and Leonard have gone within a hundredth of each other, basically. 0.011 separates the Alfa Romeos. It's incredibly close of a margin. And it's 2 thousandths that separate Luke and Faco. It's incredible. Very, very closely fought. Potentially for what could be race victory here. But it's Kane who currently has the fastest lap of the session. Jari, meanwhile, has got onto another flying lap. Down the Kemmel Street, absolutely flying. It looks incredibly fast. Must have taken off a lot of downforce, which could be why he's having to fight so hard through these corners. It looks, it's just incredible speed. Not even I've gone this fast. Are we sure he's legitimate? I kid. But this is some insane speed. Let me look at the telemetry. 180 and 90 miles an hour. That's incredible speed. I'll have to drive around the track myself, see what I can do. But then I know I'm not nowhere near as good as Yari is, and it's been a while since I've actually driven, so I'm gonna be quite rusty, I reckon. 194, that's a bit more in line with what I would have thought, but damn. Some incredible speed that Yari is demonstrating here, on mediums as well. Goes second fastest into the 142s on mediums. Destroys Luke, Faco and Leonard's times on mediums. And Leonard's going out. I think he's the writing on the wall. He can't compete. He's gonna have to use the soft tyres. Meanwhile, Jaden, I think he must have invalidated his lap, as he's done a lap on these tyres, but he's not. Yeah, he's somehow not got a time. So yeah, he must have invalidated. Going through Blanchimont now, though, and he hasn't invalidated yet. Into the chicane. Might be a decent time here. Definitely will be faster than medium, well, should be faster than medium times. Goes second fastest, so, and goes a bit faster than Yari did. Ivan on his fast lap as well. Got a bit of a company in front of him. I believe that's Yari. Yes, it is. And giving perhaps a bit of an unintentional slipstream to Ivan, and might be helping him out a bit here. Not too much through the corner though. And Yari does get out of the way, but not without giving him that bit of a slipstream maybe. And Ivan looks incredibly planted, and he goes fastest of all in the session. PH Trissy, meanwhile, running out of fuel, so this is an in-lap. Leonard invalidates, I think, just as we were watching him. Tim VD on an outlap, and he's got to improve. Unrepresentative time on the board. He has to get a time, a representative time, see where he is. But with traction like that, it's not looking like it's going to be a good start to this flying lap. And the car just looking a bit robotic. Harry Fitz has decided he's going to start on the medium tyres. And Tim does go through Eau Rouge and Radillon quite nicely. He just needs to not spin at no name. Lots of curb as he goes into Lake Holm. Misses the inside curb. Oh, bit unhappy though. Through turn 6. And the car not the happiest around here, I don't think. But nicely through Bruxelles. Doesn't spin through no name. And doesn't take the AstroTurf. Maybe that's what caught him out the last time. Doesn't hit the inside curb at Pouhon either. Then into Campus. Also taking curb once again. Got yellow flags. That's, I think, Faco possibly. Through Stavilo. That's going to be close. It doesn't invalidate. So didn't lose, or didn't gain too much time as the game beckons. And that's Rob ahead, who I don't think he's improved his lap time. Not actually, no, he must have improved his lap time because he's. Actually, I don't remember. He's done a pretty good lap at some point. Tim VD will improve. It gets into P8. And that will have to probably be the best he can do. Leonard and Faco. Well, Leonard is going to be the first Alfa Romeo to complete a lap here. He's incredibly low on fuel. He'll be crossing the line on low fuel. I don't know how much fuel he'll have left. He might run out just before the end of the line. I don't think so, though. He's going to go P1 on the soft tyres. Next will be... well, Cringe is on an out lap. He will be starting his flying lap momentarily. It will be PH Trissy who will be across the line. He's also on an out lap, though. As is Luke GDI. So it will be Faco who will be the next person to set a faster lap time. He is in the danger zone. He's only P11, but he's a second up on his previous best, so that should put him into the 142s. 142.6s, which would be enough for P5 minimum. Very similar speeds to what Yari was doing. The car didn't look happy through 18, but nice traction out of the chicane, and it's only P4, but it's enough. Oh, and I think Dan Edwin's had a mistake, and he won't be getting a representative lap time in, so things have gone drastically wrong for Rob and Dan Edwin, so they won't be improving their times here. SBG managed to improve to P9. So who will be next across the line? It will be Formula Cringe in the Mercedes. And Tim VD retires. So Tim VD will not be getting into Q3. Which means PH Trissy at risk from Formula Cringe and Luke GDI. And Cringe is a second up on his previous best, so he will almost certainly get into the top 10. Absolutely flying. Not the greatest traction out of the chicane, but he goes up into P3. And now it's SBG who's at risk. Luke, I'm not certain what his Sector 2 time was, but the Aston Martin got some speed to it, 194. So what's it going to be able to do? Looks like, well, I would be surprised if Luke didn't improve much. And I think that was a decent end there. Didn't catch where he finished off. P6 for the Aston Martin in the end. And Jerry Fitz will be the only man to start on medium tyres. Will it pay off? We'll have to see. Rob, SBG and Tim VD are all knocked out. How was Rob knocked out? I must have missed it. But I could swear that it was only SBG who was at risk. I don't know. Dan Edwin must have improved as well. I don't know. Anyway, Q3, where we decide the top 10. And what's it gonna be? What will the results be? We shall have to see. And Jaden still potentially having disconnection issues. Right. So, first man out, it's going to be Ivan in the Red Bull RB16B. And the current championship leader finished P3 in the championship in Season 3, looking to win his first CRS championship.
Keep saying the word championship.
Yes, Ivan in a good position at the moment, but there's still 7 rounds of the season left to go.
And Ivan,
well, you never know, he could lose out yet. His current nearest rival is his own teammate Kane,
who didn't take part last week.
Kane, few corners behind, going through Lacombe right now. Right behind PH Trissy. Could be that Faco, Yari, and Dan Edwin and Luke haven't got enough tyres. No, actually, scratch Luke. He does have the tyres to get at least 2 laps in, I would imagine. But Dan Edwin, Yari, and Faco waiting.
So they probably have used 1 too many sets of tyres.
Pressed the wrong button. Anyway, Ivan. We're all bit of poor traction on the exit of the chicane. Crosses the line now to start his flying lap. First flying lap of the session. And looking to get a pole position. Or at least P2. Heading down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Looking pretty planted. DRS opens down the Kemmel Straight, doing more than 200 miles an hour. That's what, 300-ish kilometers an hour, 320? Yeah. Got a yellow flag, that's a Lennart, I think. Go through Bruchel with Ivan at the moment, and then into No Name. And he decides to miss out on the AstroTurf for this occasion. Maybe he doesn't think it's faster. It's certainly a tricky strategy. It's a very narrow strip of AstroTurf that shouldn't be anywhere near as grippy as the tarmac. Through Stavilo now. Oh, bit of a wobble on the exit. And then through Paul Frere. And Trissy has retired. He's crashed. That's not gone well for Trissy. So Trissy will start P10 in this race. And Ivan, about to set the benchmark now, crosses the line with a 142.2. Next, it will be his teammate Kane, who after Trissy crashed gets promoted into second in line. And what is the Australian going to do? I think he's Australian, correct me if I'm wrong. He might be a New Zealander, but I'm pretty sure he's Australian. At least that's the flag he's using. Crosses the line, and he's about 3/10 off of Ivan. Next, it will be Formula Cringe, but he's invalidated. So instead, it's Lennart, who got a bit of a slipstream from his teammate Faco. And a bit of a slingshot into the chicane. And his time looks like it's going to be very, very good. Indeed it is. It's 4/10 faster than Ivan's time. Luke, right behind that. And what's Luke going to be able to do? It's not going to be anywhere as good. It could be a result of the slipstream. He's 3/10 off of Kane. And we have had some invalidations as well, so Yeah, Leonard come out of nowhere with that. And it looks like he's going to be providing a slipstream to Faco. I think that's what's going to make it or break it for people here. A slipstream down Blanchimont, the Blanchimont Strait or whatever. Faco coming through No Name. Could they have mistimed this? Well, Leonard is going to have to pick up the pace to try and get to the straight before Faco does. But Faco is catching up at a rate of knots here. Oh, not very happy through the exit of campus. And Leonard has actually slowed down to give Faco the slipstream. But I think they've done it too early. Absolutely done it too early. We'll put up the telemetry and he's not going that much faster. So that was way too early from Leonard. He should have picked up the pace. Instead, he slowed down and Faco doesn't get as much of an advantage. And indeed, it's only going to be a 1:42.3, which puts him behind Ivan. Splits the Red Bulls. There's currently an Alfa Romeo and Red Bull 1, 2, 3, 4. Jaden got back into the session again on an outlap. Cringe has pit. PH Trissy has crashed. And Dan Edwin also on an outlap. So Jaden, next challenger. We'll look at the pits briefly. There's
No one coming out to play.
I'll just watch the AlphaTauri go by from this angle. And there it goes. On camera, at the top of the screen. Not as fast, and it's not actually running on the rails there. And we've got a yellow flag, that's Dan Edwin, going slowly. Jaden, though, not going very slowly at all. Going down the Camel Straight, and I imagine 200 miles an hour, not quite as fast as what I think it was Ivan was doing. Only just broken to 101, whilst Ivan was doing a solid 100 and 201. Did I say 101?
Maybe.
Through No Name, doesn't spin. He's going to take the AstroTurf line. Such a funky line. It's not one I would use. I don't know how much faster it is. That looks like a lot of dirt on his rear wing there. That's strange. Not seen a dirty rear wing like that. Oh, pardon me. I found myself yawning all of a sudden. I was gonna speak and then I yawned. Less than 3 minutes of the session left. We've got Yari Fitz's McLaren coming out of the pits. And Leonard on an outlap. Potentially going to get another slipstream from Faco? Possibly? As Jaden come across the line for potentially his one and only flying lap. 1:42.6. It's enough for P5. Dan Edwin, meanwhile, has invalidated, but he's got enough time to get round to the finish line to start another flying lap. Strange behaviour, trying to get some heat into the tyres, I imagine. Currently, 3 drivers who are still in the session have not been able to set a lap time due to invalidations. Dan Edwin, Gary Fitz, and Formula Cringe. And pretty much everyone is out on track now, except for Trissy, of course. One of those drivers, Jaden, is going to more than likely pull into the pits. I don't imagine he's got much fuel left. Oh, maybe he does. Maybe he fueled up for a few runs. But this will be everyone's last attempt at a flying lap. And it was Lennart who was first. But there's a great amount of time between him and Faco. So Faco's going to have to slow down a lot if he wants to give Lennart another slipstream down Blanchimont. But I think with the amount of time left in the session, I don't think it's going to really... There's going to be enough time to do that. Dan Edwin, meanwhile, was actually the first man to start the final flying lap. My apologies.
About 2 corners ahead of Lennart.
So I'm not going to be able to tell what his times are. Going down towards campus, right and left. He avoids the curbs like they're garlic to a vampire. We've got yellow flags. I think that's Kane slowing down. What's his sector 2 time? A 1:14.0. For Lennart, it is 3/10 faster than his previous best, so he's 7/10 quicker than Dan Edwin. He doesn't appear to have had a very good lap here. But this could be where Lennart loses the time now. He was quicker through the middle parts of the track, but now he doesn't have the slipstream he had from Lennart. From Faco. Dan Edwin should be setting a lap time. He goes 4th fastest, 1:42.4. And Lennart does improve by 2/10, so he lost a 1/10 of a second there. And Jari Fitz has invalidated, so he won't be setting. He won't be getting a lap time onto the board, which is rotten luck for the McLaren driver here. Jaden has also invalidated, so that's not gone well. Formula Cringe will be next. Oh, very close to invalidating there, and he's got a bit of company behind him. That's Kane in the Red Bull, and potentially causing a bit of trouble for Kane as well. $1:13.8. It's not. Oh, Kane is actually invalidated, so Kane won't be starting in pole either. Cringe though. Right behind Jaden. What time is Jaden gonna do? Jaden, I don't think he improved. Cringe goes 2nd fastest. What a comeback for Formula Cringe. Luke GDI also, I'm not certain if he's improved. What's his time gonna be? It's a 1:42.1. He goes 3rd fastest. Faco right behind that goes P2, pushes Cringe down at currently an Alfa Romeo 1-2, and Ivan is also invalidated. So rotten luck for the Red Bulls. They can only start 5th and 7th, but wondrous results for the Alfa Romeos, who lock out the front row of the grid, but separated by 3/10 themselves. Incredible stuff from the Alphas, and that's them bringing the fight back to the Constructors' Championship and also the Drivers' Championship, as Faco, I think, is the closest to being able to get to... I'm pretty sure Faco is the closest to either of the Red Bull drivers in the championship. And of course, Faco will be looking to be champion for the 2nd season in a row.
Wet the whistle before we get into the race.
So, Lennart on pole, Faco 2nd, Cringe 3rd, Luke 4th, Ivan 5th, Dan Edwin 6th, Kane 7th, Jaden 8th, Jari 9th, and Trissy 10th. It's a McLaren 5th row. So, move on to the race, which will probably have 15 drivers. We didn't get another person joining in, I don't think. Which is sad. But
it happens. We've not had many full grids at all since since I joined. It has been a while, and of course, lots of the guys who race here are in school and simply can't take part at when they want to. That's the problems of having a race on a Wednesday evening. "5 seconds until we get underway for the formation lap. And it will be Leonard leading the pack away. And I reckon it's going to be a one-stop strategy. Either you go into hards around lap 7 or mediums at lap 8. I'm not certain which I would do. So Henges, Marie, Tim, SBG, Rob, Trissy, Gary Fitz, Jaden, Kane, Dan Edwin, Ivan, Luke, Formula Cringe, Faco, and Leonard. That's the grid in reverse order. Imagine if we had sprint races like that. I think we did do a sprint race qualifying thing, once. I think that was season 3. I don't remember. I think we did. But maybe it's just me misremembering a stream. Keep saying I'm disconnected from chat, but then no one's actually said anything. So it doesn't really matter. Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, and Aston Martin, pseudo Mercedes. I'll be wondering. I wonder how well the Alphas can do. We had one hell of a race last time in season 3. Very close, and it was a very close margin to victory. And of course, it was won by Ivan. Can he repeat that feat from P5? For currently, it's not in his favour. He's got 2 very fast drivers ahead of him, Leonard and Faco, who are also, well, they were P1 and P2 in the championship in season 3. Oh, this is a pretty nice camera. We just got to wait for Henges to pull up to his grid slot. I really hope they fix this stupid camera bug, because it's supposed to show the starting camera. But here we go, 5 lights on. It's lights out, and away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. And I think that's Luke GDI getting past Formula Cringe already. We've got a very, we looked at the wrong car. And Luke GDI has managed to get past Faco. And it's already a 5-6 for Red Bull. So it's a very good start for the Red Bull team. Oh, and we had a crash. And Faco and Cringe have crashed out on... Oh, and Dan Edwin as well. Marie has spun, but doesn't lose out. Faco, Dan Edwin and Cringe, their races lasted precisely 4 corners. And we're already down to 12 drivers, and suddenly this puts Leonard's race lead in jeopardy already. I didn't catch what happened there, but
I guess people wouldn't try to go 3 or 4 wide into Radion, and it just didn't work. So after winning the race last time out, Faco will not score points, which is a huge blow for the championship, especially in the second half of the season. Lennart is now... Well, it's looking like it's going to be a good result for Ivan either way. Let me just take a look at the championship standings.
You know, if my phone will behave. I can imagine we've got some fairly angry chat already. What is everyone saying? So Cringe thinks he got hit. I'm not going to pass judgment on anything. I didn't see what happened.
Championship standings then. It's currently... Lennart is actually quite a ways down the field. He's only got 60 points. Faco will lose out quite a bit here. So even if Lennart does win a race, he'll still be quite a distance away from even Kane. Sure, he'll gain on Kane and Ivan. And it will, if he does win the race, he'll be back up into P3 in the championship. But it's not a favourable position to be in. Ivan and Kane are going to be racing for their lives here.
But how much teamwork are they going to do?
Kane will want to win. Ivan will want to win. How much love is going to be lost between them? It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a long race. Trissy, I think, has had a pit for new tyres, gone straight onto hards.
We pull the Twitch stream back up.
So let's take a quick look at the position changes. Trissy down 2, Jaden down 3, and everyone else above, except for Lennart, has gained positions after that crash. Dan Edwin, Faco, and Formula Cringe are already out of the Grand Prix. Lennart maintains his pole position. Luke and Ivan both up 2 positions. Kane up 3. Yari Fitz and Marie up 4. Rob SBG and Tim VD up 5. And Hangis is up 6. He started last and now he's a 9th, but only by virtue of everyone below him having made a pit stop. I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look. Oh, Marie didn't actually. I think Marie just has a spin on their own. Jaden and Trissy have made pit stops. Unfortunately, Trissy didn't catch up in time, I don't think. So we're going to have another lap under the safety car, but we should have racing resume on lap 4. Oh, and people... Oh, Jaden's pitting now. Why? So Jaden makes 2 pit stops already? Maybe he picked it... Oh, no, he didn't pick up damage. He wasn't in the pits for that long. So maybe he just wanted to put on a different set of tyres. But now that puts Jaden right at the back of the field. It should give him enough time to catch back up. And we should still get racing back underway for lap 4. Well, the field is bunched up once again. Rolling restart imminent And there shouldn't be any contact this time around. Rolling start's a lot less chaotic than a standing start. Ooh, and Cringe is left. Of course, he crashed, so there's no point in sticking around unless you want to watch. We should get the safety car in this lap notification any moment now. And it will be Leonard leading the pack away, and it's now up to him to bunch the pack up and try and catch them all off guard. And try and gain as much of a lead as he can. He won on the track last year, but he didn't, as a result of his penalties, he didn't actually win the race. But no penalties right now. He's just got to hope he can build up enough of a gap. So even if he does get a penalty, he'll have a buffer. And he's waiting. Waiting a fair amount of time. There's the safety car line. DRS line or something. And that will be the earliest point where he could have gone. And he's going to go now. Almost certainly. And there we go. You can wait until this finish line. And I think he's caught Ivan off guard. But Luke was prepared. And and Leonard gets a lot of wheel spin on the exit of La Source. It's not enough for Luke to be able to really make much of it to capitalise. But the Aston Martin right behind. And he's going to have a mega slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. But without DRS, it's going to be a hard-fought overtake. I don't want that view. Luke does get within 2/10, but it's not enough, and he's going to have to contend with dirty air now. And look at the pace he's losing. It's possible, though, that Luke does have a lot less downforce than other drivers. Marie picks up a penalty. He's gone off the track, I think. And Kane and Ivan switch places. I think Ivan's made a mistake, and he's under threat from Jari Fitz now. So Ivan, current championship leader, has, I think, involuntarily given his position up to his teammate, and that's going to be bad in the championship. He didn't look too happy through campus there either. Luke with it. Oh, and that's Kane going sideways. Kane gets onto the curbs. And that is absolute disaster for Kane. And now he's practically at the back of the field. And Ivan is under threat from Jari. He might actually lose the position here. He's being forced to take the long way round. And Jari Fitz, will he get the position? I think Ivan is able to stay ahead just. But DRS will be activated at some point. And at the moment, Ivan is a sitting duck. His car doesn't look happy at all. It looks like a nightmare to drive. And he's lost touch with the leaders. And he's under threat from not just Jari, but Rob as well, who's in an amazing 5th place. And Ivan is going to pull a Mika Hakkinen. No, he's not. Jari is going to get past Ivan. Ivan goes onto the curbs. It's a very risky move. And he's going to have to settle for P4 for now. That car looks incredibly tail-happy. We've got Hanges gone round at Lacombe. He's clipped the curb, I think. And that's allowed Kane to get back up into the points. Rob picks up a 3-second time penalty for a ridiculous... Oh, he went 1 millimeter over the right line. Therefore, he went too fast or something. Another yellow flag, that's Marie. Lost it at Radion. And yeah, Marie did say they were really rusty. Of course, now that Jari's in P3, Kane's gone round again. He's clipped the curb or something, and now he's being passed by Hanges again. His tyres are probably cooked and shredded. in which he should be getting DRS on this lap, which will put Lennart in danger. And actually, Jari. Oh, what was that? That was strange. Ivan was more than a second behind Jari, and then he's within a second. But yeah, Jari Fitz is within a second of Ivan, so Ivan will get the DRS, but Luke will be the first man to get it. Through Eau Rouge, Radion. DRS activates now, but I don't think Luke is going to be able to make the move just yet. Ivan, though, no, not either. Kane's putting new tyres on. I saw that red spanner icon and thought, wait, does he have damage? But no, that just means the pit box is occupied. Jari looked a bit unhappy there too. Maybe that was just a desync. Cars are not looking happy around this track. Ivan just has to stay within a second of the McLaren. But I don't know if he has the pace in him today. And Jari could be on for a first podium. That's Rob going onto the grass. Got a bit of a snap of oversteer. Put him into an unfavourable position. And Marie spun at Radion again. Catching them out. Rob under threat from Tim VD and the Alpine. And Ivan slowly losing touch with the McLaren. But it seems that the Jari is not as fast through the chicane as he would like to be, as he was ahead by a second, but then he fell back down to about 8/10. So Ivan, with any luck, it's going to be very close, and I don't think Ivan's going to get the DRS. And no, he's not. So this is Ivan gradually losing touch with Jari Fitz. Luke GDI, meanwhile, getting quite close to Lennart, but not enough to get past. He's losing a lot of time through the twisty bits. Oh, and we've had another spin. That's Tim VD. Oh, that's disaster for Tim VD, and he's lost an end plate too, so that means he's going to have to pit for a new front wing. And Kane, once again, out of the pits. Marie lost their front wing after that spin. They keep spinning there. I don't blame them. It's not an easy corner on this year, on F1 2021. And Jari Fitz picks up a 3-second time penalty. And that could be crucial if Ivan can stay within that time frame. But who knows how many penalties, warnings he has. He's losing touch with Jari, which could be crucial. But Jari has used up a lot of his ERS, his energy. And Marie is about to be lapped by the leading pair. Luke GDI is pitting. Probably going to try and undercut Lennart here. What tyres is he going to be putting on? I would imagine mediums, yes. And Lennart possibly going to go for hards? I would think mediums too. So that promotes Ivan back up into the podium positions, but but not to buy pace. Well, I'm getting confused there all the time. Through Lecombe, and Ivan just still falling further and further behind Jari, who just seems to be able to extract more pace from the car. SBG has crashed. That's a very familiar place. I think that's where Charles Leclerc crashed in FP2 last year. And I think that's also a place where Faker crashed at one point in the past. We've got yellow flags, but I don't think we're going to have a safety car. Even though it's clearly a very dangerous position. And that promotes Kane back up into the points. I nearly said pits for some reason. And we're down to 12 drivers. Actually, no, 11 drivers. And what is Leonard going to do? He dives into the pits. So how much has Luke managed to catch up by? He's heading towards the chicane right now. And he's going through it right now. It's going to be very, very close. There's Leonard on exiting the pits right now, and Luke is going to be able to get to the DRS at the very least. Oh no! It's not gone well for Luke. I think he's had a very poor outlap. He's lost a load of time to Leonard, and we've got a yellow flag. That's Marie spinning again. That's a... Oh, and yeah, that's the rustiness showing. Ivan's also pit. He's behind Luke now, and Jari Fitz then is leading the race. Marie decides to just DNF. So effective leader is still Leonard, but he's gained a lot of time on Luke. Meanwhile, Rob under threat from Jaden in the AlphaTauri. And Jaden, I think, did start on the medium tyres. Rob's soft tyres are going to be feeling the pain by now. They can only go about 8 or 9 laps before they start losing a lot of pace. And Jaden, whilst he won't have the DRS until the Camel Straight, well, effective DRS anyway, Rob is all over the place. Will one of these drivers dive into the pits? I can only imagine it would be Rob, and yes, Rob does go into the pits. And this will give Jaden a bit of DRS down the main straight. That promotes Trissy up into the podium positions. But I don't imagine Trissy's going to be able to hold on for long, as he's got Leonard right behind on fresh medium tyres. And Trissy are visibly slow down the straights. And even without the DRS, I can imagine Leonard would get past very easily. Didn't even need, I think maybe used a bit of ERS as well, just to get the deal done. And Leonard back up into the podium positions. And now 6.2 seconds separate him and Jaden. See if we can get back into the lead. Now Jari, who did start on the medium tyres. I see why Rob was losing pace. He was was he losing pace? I don't know, but yeah, he must have had a disconnection at some point. Jari, meanwhile, leading the race on the medium tyres. We'll have to see what the strategy says about this. When will Jari pit? Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Ivan has crashed! Oh, that's disaster for Ivan! And we got a safety car! So Ivan was... he was evidently... that's a very strange place to crash. I'm not certain how that's happened. He must have had a snap of oversteer or something, and he's ploughed into the wall. So this is going to hurt his championship chances substantially. He needed to score points today, and now he's not scoring anything. Which gives Kane the opportunity to catch up a little bit. But it also means that Leonard will be catching up a lot more than he otherwise might have been. Absolute disaster for Ivan. Belgium strikes again. And is that... Ooh. Oh no. Are the... Yari might have let Luke past. I don't know. I was thinking that Yari and Luke had that glitch where they're being told to let the other past. So, 9 drivers remain out of 15. We have lost Formula Cringe, Faco, and Dan Edwin on lap 1. Marie and SBG retired a few laps later, and Ivan has just DNF'd on lap 10 after losing control, I imagine, just before Stavilo on the exit of campus. Just before turn 15. So now we've got to wait for everyone to catch up. A safety car was what Ivan probably wanted, but I doubt he envisioned himself being the cause of the safety car. So, yeah. Not gone well for the championship leader. And if this isn't the turning point of the championship, who knows? And this, well, safety car is probably what Kane needed, because now he can try and fight back up the field somewhat. Rob pulls into the pits again. Must have been his AI that pit earlier. So Rob's going to lose places too. But the field is about to bunch up, so we should get the racing back underway. Lap 13 at the earliest. But I think, if I remember correctly, this is going to be Leonard's first victory of the season. Might be wrong, but I'd be I don't think he's had a good season up until now, and now he's leading the race, and he's in a very good position to close the gap to the top. Potentially win his second championship. He would be CRS's first two-time champion. When did we start running? We've been running since, I think, November of 2020. Certainly a while ago when we started racing. I joined for I think it was the round 3 of the first season. Missed most of season 2. And of course took part in a couple of races of season 3 before I switched to commentating. And I think I'm better at commentating than I am at driving. There we go, safety car in this lap. Try not to crash, everyone. We've got a race to race. A race to complete. And whilst I'm sure Leonard would love if everyone else crashed, wouldn't be very fun. So, Leonard will once again lead the pack away. He's got to bunch them up. He's going quite quickly. I guess he just wants to get it over and done with. There are 10 laps of the race remaining. And Luke is not going to be caught out on this one. Absolutely not. And it's very close racing between Leonard and Luke. And Jerry was taking a look at Luke as well. He's on soft tyres, so he's pit at some point. And Yari might be able to get past Luke. He'll have the slipstream. He's very close. I don't have the words. But this might be a Mika Hakkinen moment. Yari is going to go around the outside of Luke. And he could dive up the inside. It's not going to be contact. It's incredibly close. Wheel-to-wheel racing. This is what Formula One is all about. And it's Luke who is losing out to Yari Fitz after attacking Leonard for so long. Suddenly it's Luke who's now in P3, and Yari, on those incredibly fresh soft tyres, is going to be able to pull away quite a bit. But they will not last the full 10 laps that are remaining, or 9 laps. And Yari, more than likely, is going to get past here. He's 7 positions up for where he started. And he's only done 1 pit stop. So he did pit for fresh, soft tyres under the safety car. And Leonard looks kind of slow down the straight. Leonard is actually on these fairly fresh tyres. Oh, and Yari's... Yari shifts down so he doesn't overtake Leonard too early. He's playing this really tactically. Though you wouldn't do that in a real Formula 1 car. That would blow your engine. So Yari, even though DRS isn't going to be available until the next lap, he's acting as if there will be. Or at least he wants the slipstream. And he's going to have it. He's going to get the slingshot maneuver. Leonard just doesn't have the ability to defend on these rather used medium tires. He's still just about ahead, and he's gonna fight for it, but Yari just has the grip, and he gets back into the lead. Back into the lead. He was never in the lead. He gets into the lead, makes it look easy, and now he's on for a potential race victory himself. That's the alternate strategy coming into play. It works really well when there's a safety car, and we've had 2 safety cars in this race, and Leonard now finds what would have been a guaranteed race victory just slipping through his fingers. Kane, meanwhile, is up into P6, and he's fighting with Yari's teammate Trissy. Trissy not making it easy! What is that? Oh, that's not... And Kane's race falls to pieces, and we get another safety car. At least it could be worse for Kane. It was only 2 laps after the safety car started. Yari Fitz finds himself in the lead of the race. Yeah, that's all he needed. But Kane, I have no idea what that was. I guess Trissy must have clipped the curb and just lost a lot. Just spun on the curb and caught Kane in the crossfire, basically. Collateral damage. Luke pits for fresh tyres. Yari, what? Okay, so Yari has somehow lost a position to Leonard. I'm not certain how that's happened. But he's still on those very fresh tyres, so he should be able to get past Leonard very easily again. And Luke on the fresh soft tyres as well. So let's look. Rob on 2-lap-old softs. Leonard was the only driver who didn't pit, and it's gonna cost him dearly, I reckon. So if Leonard gets overtaken a lot, he could potentially turn what would have been a very good result in the championship into a meh result. It just depends on how many people can overtake him, and I think Luke probably will be able to. But Luke does have Rob ahead of him, and Rob, as we're well aware, is not the greatest of drivers, but he does seem to have improved since the Azerbaijan round.
Yeah, and I think the game's
Decided to be a bit of a dingus towards Yari. I think he tried to go past Leonard again, but he'll be being told to give that position back, surely. I don't know. Either way, these drivers should have been given a penalty. We're still, the safety car's still out, even though it should be going back in. Virtual debris cleans up instantly. You don't need to simulate it taking 2 laps. Well, 8 drivers left. Kane has got past Hanges somehow. Probably by the same means. I guess if you go slow enough, the game will tell the person behind to go past, and yeah, maybe that's how it happens. But yeah, we're gonna have a few laps of very fraught, close racing, and I can't see Leonard being able to keep P2 for very long. Rob has... well, we'll have to see, because Gary and Rob have penalties, but only 3 seconds worth. So what can Yari do on these relatively fresh mediums? What can Rob do? Will he be an impediment to Luke? Or will he be able to get past Leonard? He is still on soft tyres, and they're still fresher than Leonard's mediums. I'm going to wait an entire 2.5 minute long lap. For the safety car to go around. Speaking of the safety car, I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the
new one they're going to have for this season.
I wonder if it's going to be a bit faster than this one, and it's going to alleviate some of the drivers' complaints that, oh, he's driving too slow. Tell the safety car to speed up, even though it's driving about as fast as it can. But yeah, it's a bit more of a race car, more of a GT car almost. Then, oh, Yari Fitz. Oh, it looked like it was already going. You have to slow down a bit, though. You've got to wait for the safety car to come in. But maybe Yari is impatient. There's a lot of time to Rob behind. Now he bunches people up, and that could catch people out. It has caught Hanges out a bit. We almost had a Mugello situation there. And Yari Fitz gets going. And I think it's caught Leonard out again. Rob is going to go up the inside of Leonard. Oh, but no, he's being overtaken by Luke here. He forces Luke wide. So Rob is being the roadblock that Leonard and Yari would need. But he's not going to be the roadblock for very long. He's got the slipstream. But so does Rob. And you can see he instantly loses speed. Leonard incredibly slow down the straights compared to Yari. Oh, we got a yellow flag already. And that's Jaden, who's gone round at Lacombe. He's not going to cause a safety car, though. And Leonard has just fallen outside of a second of Yari Fitz. And now Rob, it's clear that he's just not got a lot of pace. And Luke is going to be incredibly impatient. He's going to want to get past this Williams. Rob is defending, making it incredibly difficult. And Luke got to be incredibly frustrated. This is helping out Lennart more than it is Rob. Sure, Rob wants this podium, but his tyres are going to be not as fresh as Luke's. Rob, though, has used up all of his energy trying to defend from Luke. And that's just going to be it's the easiest thing ever. He was only using combustion power there, and Luke gets past easily. So now Luke has a bit of a mountain to climb to catch back up to Lennart. But he should still be within enough time to potentially, I don't know how fast he can catch up to Jari. Rob has the slipstream though on Luke. He's using a lot of his energy trying to get past though. Ooh, I wouldn't make the move. Kane is up into 5th place now. And Rob, I don't imagine is going to be able to keep his position. He's going to keep falling down the field. Lennart 2 seconds behind now. Luke, though, half a second behind Lennart. He's caught up a lot through Lacombe and Bruxelles. And the grip of these soft tyres are going to allow him to catch right back up to Lennart. We will have DRS enabled on lap 19, I believe. And Luke will be within enough time. The 1 second barrier. Not had the best sector 2 there, but now he'll have the slipstream. He'll have to hold off though if he wants to get the benefit of DRS. Is what I would do. Hold off for now. And I'm pretty sure. Then there we go. Kane gets past Rob 2 into the braking zone. There we go, and DRS is enabled. Luke will hold off until the Camel Straights to get past Lennart. More than likely, it's harming Luke's race here a bit. But Luke will almost certainly get past Lennart here. He's got the grip and he's got the DRS. He's using his energy as well, and Lennart has nothing to fight with. And Luke will now be able to catch up to Jari and potentially get a race victory. He is within the 3 second margin, penalty margin for Jari Fitz. There's another spin. That's Tim VD. No, that's Rob even. So Rob spins at Lacombe. His good position now only a P6. And Jari Fitz's potential victory is in danger. And Luke, who was looking like he was only going to finish maybe P2 at best, is now potentially on for a race victory. But he's got to catch up. He's got to stay within the 3 second penalty margin. And the only thing he's really got going for him are the fact that his tyres are a few laps younger than Jari's. I don't know what his top speed is going to be like. Jari he's going to do maybe 192. Luke only was reaching about 190, 290, 191 even. And it looked like he lost a lot of pace through the chicane, but still within the margin. Lennart still on for a podium at the minute, but he's got Kane right behind. But is it too late for Kane? I'm not certain. He may not be able to catch up to Lennart. And Lennart gets the DRS off of Luke, even though there's no way he's going to be able to get past Luke. Jari has been defending for his life. He's used up almost all of his energy. Luke still has a bit more left to play with. But it does seem that he's just not quite so good through some of these corners as Jari is. How much of an effect on his slightly younger tires. No! Luke's race ends in disaster! And that he's gonna be kicking himself for that. And now suddenly, Yari's race victory is back on the cards. And Kane, Leonard maybe potentially trying to drive the nuts off his Alpha now because he knows he could potentially get race victory here. Yari's tyres are going to be falling off the cliff somewhat, but he is crucially just outside of that 3-second barrier. And worn mediums are going to be just not as fast as even slightly worn 8-lap-old, 9-lap-old now softs. Luke driving the nuts off of his Aston Martin, and he just overdrove the car. Got some oversteer, overcorrected, and that was his race done at no name. He'll still get points by virtue of completing more than 90% of the race distance, but 8th place is just no consolation to what could have been a race victory. And Kane has managed to catch up to Leonard, but he's just not catching up fast enough. And his tyres will be feeling maybe a bit second-hand by now. But yeah, Jari Fitz, who was potentially who would have won the French Grand Prix, but didn't because of a puncture, does look like he's gonna win this round. Long-awaited victory for Jari Fitz, just 1 lap away. Meanwhile, Kane has to see if he can at least get a P2, which I believe should put him ahead of Ivan in the championship. But he's used up all of his energy trying to catch up to Leonard. He'll get the DRS though, so that will be a bit of a help. Oh, and Leonard's got a lot of wheel spin on the exit of 19. And Kane, I think, will get past Leonard on this lap. He will have the traction. And Leonard's used up a lot of his energy. He's using as much of it as he can, but it's not a lot. And there we go. Kane has the DRS. He doesn't have a lot of energy to play with, but it's enough. And he gets past Leonard to take P2 on the road, and there's no way he's going to be able to catch up to Jari in time to narrow that gap down to less than 3 seconds. It's almost certainly going to be Jari Fitz taking victory for the first time this season, unless something goes majorly wrong. The gap is falling a little bit. No, it's actually growing a bit. So Jari, even though his tyres are pretty much on the ragged edge, he's able to manhandle it around the corners and just extract pace from them when everyone else can't. And in the end, Kane does manage to close the gap a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough. And Jari Fitz, after first appearing in the French Grand Prix, almost winning it, and he's gonna take his first victory of the season. Comes around the final corner now for the first victory for McLaren. And Kane takes P2, and I think the lead of the championship. And Leonard, well, it wasn't P1, but P3 is enough to catch up to Ivan at least. I don't know how far up it would have put him, but yeah. Leonard, I think, back in contention. And Hanges went from last to 4th. Driver of the day for Hanges, I think. Or maybe he just got incredibly lucky. He just avoided all the accidents. There we go. Game gives it to Handress. So, what a race. Jari Fitz finally takes victory. It was double disaster. Just a race to forget for Luke GDI, who could have won, but he threw it all away. And Handress goes from 15th and last on the grid to 4th. Round of applause. Didn't even have a particularly good fastest lap, but it was enough. 1:46.1 was his best lap. 3 seconds off of Jari's pace, but it was... I guess consistency is all that matters. So Kane will get 18 points, and I'm pretty sure Kane... Okay, I'm going to have to bring up the results. So, race results. I'll turn on the display capture for this one. Yep, that's working. So, oh, that's the race results. Okay, so championship standings is what I wanted. Oh yeah, the Kane 95. So let's pull up the calculator. I didn't catch who had the fastest lap actually, but I think it was Jari, so it wouldn't matter too much. So Ivan doesn't gain any points because he crashed too early. 95. So 95 plus 18 equals 113. There we go. Kane has retaken the lead of the championship, but it's only by 5 points. Ivan still has plenty of time to get back into contention. Leonard, meanwhile, he picked up 15 points, so that'll put him second to his teammate Faco, but still very much in contention at least. So yeah, there we go. There we go, indeed. Jari Fitz picks up his first victory. And yeah, Luke just commiserations to Luke GDI. But he's rather jovial about it. And either way, it was of reserve drivers. So the people who benefit the most out of that, Kane and Leonard, effectively, it was Kane who won the race. That's one hell of a result for Kane after a disaster, what could have been disaster, and it still ended up going his way. I am doing the voice chat actually. Just in case anyone wants to interview, I'm not that sold on doing interview questions. I'm not that good on it. But we'll see if anyone wants to join in. Oops. I'm just going to get how to it there. Actually, I've got the image up, don't I? There we go. Nearly showed off something that wouldn't have been safe for work. Well, there we go. that's the race over. We'll see you next week for which round? I do believe. Calendar. We are going to the Netherlands next week at Circuit Park Zandvoort. Wow, I remember the last time we were there. We had quite a kerfuffle towards the end of that race. Yikes. But yeah, there we go. We'll see you next week for the Dutch Grand Prix, the home race for many of our drivers. Until then, good night.